prepared for. Things suddenly went belly up, and here you are. So I would like you to maybe talk, like, where are people now? And based on the situation of things, where are people right now? What is their situation? And how do we look at this? Like, what perspective can we take to, handle this?
Thank you. And thank you so much again, Lohi, for having me. I'm actually trying to just stabilize my camera and something. Hopefully I'm coming to you okay?
Yes, we can see you perfect.
Okay, well, thank you once again. And I'm so delighted. I'm very humbled to be part of your conversation tonight. Yeah, it's such a great question, because I think it's quite important to look at ourselves at the moment. Where are we right now? Mm-hmm. And this is especially for everybody who's actually stuck at home, who've lost their jobs. Yeah. And it's such a different feeling, because you're not at fault. Nobody's at fault. Not even the company who've actually released you from the job. They don't have much that they can do. Now, that is the other side of it. But we have to always, at this point in time, we have to accept it. Okay, there's not much we can do. COVID-19 is here. The question is, what can you do? In spite of all this that's happening, what can you do? Now, I think the best part of this is we now have the time in our hands, because we're all at home, and especially those who have now plenty of time to look after themselves because there's no job at the moment. Maybe we could look at it differently. So what are you doing with your time is the biggest question, because what you do with your time right now will determine how you will become when things go back to normal, and will determine what type of job, or if you will have a job again. Whatever you do right now with your extra time, with your free time, will determine what will happen to you in the next couple of months.
Very true.
So I think a lot of people probably would really feel the stress, the frustration, the anxiety. There's a lot of emotion around this, and we really can't deny that. I think all of this will be clouding up the opportunity that we have. And when I say opportunity, it's the time, because time in itself is very expensive if we don't really look after it. It's second to our health, to ourselves. And since we have that, we have the luxury of time right now. It's within our hands. Plus with the technology, I think we can do something about it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, what do you think people can do in this time to actually get themselves prepared for when things level up?
That's
COVID.
Yeah, that's really a good question. Now, I tell you about it we're actually based in Dublin, in Ireland. So we're not completely in lockdown, but we really have very strict restrictions. So we're just stuck at home and working from home at the moment since March. And what I do, and I don't have much spare time, I have to say, I even find this myself the busiest time of the year for me. So I'm still working from home, and I'm looking after my son, and then I'm actually studying. And this is the biggest part I've discovered. This gives me now the chance to study what I really want to study more. And what I would really like to share to everyone, that although this is such a difficult time, there is something we can do for ourselves. We've got the time, difficult and the time, but let's make it just the time, and let's make it productive. Yeah. Let's go and learn something and really prepare for ourselves for the future. And that's what I've been trying to also do for myself. Although I do have a job, but I want to look after myself, not just physically, mentally. Because when we're all going back, the competition is going to be really tough. Can you imagine the number of people who lost their jobs? And when we all going back to normal, everyone wants a job then.
Yeah, true.
How are you going to excel the competition? So if you're going to get stuck right now, and when you go back and apply for a job and you say, well, I lost my job, and then they would ask you, what did you do?
True.
And that's a really, really, a really deep question. You need to now know what to answer that. And if you say, well, I couldn't do anything because there's COVID-19. Really? Who's stopping you to do something?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I say this, there's a lot of opportunities to learn right now. We've got technology that can help us.
Mhm. Okay, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about those, what people can learn and what platforms where people can get all of these resources to actually learn, you know, things they can learn to and then put on their CVs to make them get the edge over everybody who is eventually going to be out there on the job market.
That's really a good point, Lohi, because at the moment as well, I could actually relate to others because I've been searching what type of course I would take then, especially everything now goes online and it's virtual. And then there's so much noise online when you search something. Everyone is giving this away for free, a webinar or a 1-hour online course for free. The question is that productive for you? And would that be helpful for your CV? Because that's the next thing we have to look at. We have to look at, okay, let's study and let's learn. But then what are you going to learn? What are you passionate about, by the way? But the next point is, okay, since you have the time, can you also spend the time really with sense that you can carry it along to your CV? So, and that's I'm really glad you raised that, because so many offers online what you can learn, and then we have to also consider our resources, and that's really always my number one factor. If I register online,
considering how people are out of jobs, they don't have money, right? So how do they access the right material that can actually be beneficial enough to be on the CV?
That's really a good point, because first we need to consider the legitimacy of the course. And when I say legitimacy, is more of, is it accredited? And is it something you could really show off in your CV? And then the next is the cost. Can you afford it? Now, a lot of us are really tight with our budget at this point because we don't even know what's going to happen next. So, and it's just right that we will question, well, it would cost 500 euros or how many thousands in your whatever currency you're in at the moment. So it's what kind of, it's really that situation as well. So it might be easy to say, let's learn something. But really, it's more of, let's learn something where when you finish it, you acquire new skills, plus you put it on your CV. That is really, like, it's like hitting two birds in one stone. That's really just what we're trying to do here. And we can do that. So when we go back to normal, what I see here is more, it's no longer going to be a normal thing. There's going to be a new normal, and we know that for sure. And the new normal brings about the richness in technology. That's where we're heading into. No matter what, we can't deny that. A lot of people are being forced online now. It's not because someone forced them, but because we have to, because we need to get connected. So now people have the basics on how to go online, but we're going to go really digital pretty soon, so much that a lot of the jobs will always incorporate technology aspects, digital skills. And this is really something that would be interesting for those people who'd like to know, okay, if only I've gone for a technology or digital type of job, then probably I could have really worked from home at the moment.
Very true, because naturally skills are changing. So the skills that organizations will require after, I mean, I was looking at the news recently, and most companies are opting to stay on the whole plan to keep working remote. So people are going to need to upgrade their skills from being from the need to go to work in person in an office on ground, and to actually be skilled enough to be relevant to actually work on the job from their homes and be able to sell competence. So I don't know if maybe there are recommendations you can give for possible, I mean, just looking in the direction of tech and digital and how the world is progressing. So what skills do you think normal, regular, white-collar job owners can actually put in place right now to become relevant, right, for the new workforce that will be needed the minute COVID-19 is done and companies have adjusted to the new normal?
Yeah, that's really a good question. And I think it depends on your passion. If you're passionate into marketing, if you like really selling something, it's in sales, for example, all these areas, you love writing, I would really highly recommend digital marketing. And there's plenty online courses, but I highly recommend one that is free and is so legitimate that you can carry over to your CV, and it's a big point for you. Google is offering a free course in digital marketing.
Wow.
Campaign management. Google has it. And they do their own certification. And when you have it in your CV and you say, I'm Google certified, what do you think of that? That's you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's completely free. And in fact, if you're really dedicated and you're really committed to do this, you could do this in just a day. Because the course, I've gone through a couple of courses there, and one course would only take you about 4 hours if you really had to focus. But I would recommend to have a break as well, just to freshen up your brain. So that is, that's really something I would really recommend to everyone. You visit now, and I even have a lot of links here. I have a couple of recommendations really for everyone without spending anything. Wow. And this is something you could put into your CV. So if you visit now, skillshop.exceedlms.com, that's where the learning system of Google is. And you will be able to find Google Ads Search certification course. And this is really certified by Google, and it's free. Wow. So there are companies who are selling these courses for €400, for €1,000.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yes, but I think you just need to find your way. You need to find the right place, because at the moment we're very careful how to spend our money. So they also have a course like Campaign Manager certification course. They also have Google Analytics individual certification course. Now, I'm not paid at Google to say this, because this is also a free course, but I highly recommend that people would visit this and probably try yourself. Now, you also have here Harvard University. Well, this is for Coursera. There is actually a couple of technology courses in there. That's the second one that I would recommend. It's free. But if you want to get the certificate, then you'll have to pay. That's another level. But I would also suggest that, because the more credible the course you're taking, the better you actually put it on your CV. Because if you're already spending time to study, you might as well spend it wisely.
True.
Yeah. And then one interesting thing I would really want to highlight is Charles Sturt University. Free courses here, certificate courses. And I've gone to a couple of certificate courses from them, and they're based in Australia. It's brilliant. So I could share the links later. We could share it too.
Definitely. I mean, it would be amazing to get those links later. And everybody who's on the live video and who will watch subsequently by the time we post it, we would be amazing. We would be totally glad to send an email to everybody with those links. And so someone just requested for those sites. We will, once we get your email, if you want, you can send it to me or to TSWI, and we will email out all the links that Rhealyn recommends that you can actually spend time on to learn something in this time. So, I mean, Rhealyn, this is amazing information, and I'm absolutely glad that you stressed on the effective use of time in this lockdown season when everybody is at home, or even if you've lost your job, as long as you have access to internet, you can have access to all of these courses and beef up your CVs and then be relevant during post-COVID. Yeah, so before we end the discussion, maybe you want to touch on the other aspects of the 5-a-day and just brush over it so everyone can just get an idea, a rough idea, because that was a really, really amazing discussion we had last year.
Well, one of the 5-a-days that I'm really strong about is learning. So this is probably what our core of discussion at the moment. And the rest can really follow for us to develop. And this is more mental, developing our mental strength, looking after ourselves, such as connecting with people. And I believe we are already doing that. And look at us now, we're actually being connected, even if we're in different parts of the world. And people are actually watching us. So it's very much important that we really look after our mental health. So I believe people are very much familiar with 5-a-day, with fruits and vegetables. But 5-a-day for the mind is what is now really more applicable for all of us at the moment, to get connected, to keep learning, because I think learning is a main point here, and I can't emphasize this enough. We have all the time. I know people have, I think people have developed much on the connectiveness, where there's so much social media going on, all the browsing, the whole day. You probably don't have enough time, even if you browse one social media. I tried doing that and it's so tempting. And I said, no, I have to stop this. I have more to learn, because the learning is continuous for all of us. So I think we have to have that balance. And this time, try to connect yourself to learning. I think that's really my main point at this time. But before we also end, Lohi, because some people might be curious, okay, well, after I have the Google certification, what's next when I don't have experience? Don't undermine your certification. Once you have that, remember, this job is for online, for going online. So remember that. Once you have the certification, visit those sites where you become a freelancer. You'll be amazed how many people will get in touch with you, and try to get in touch with me on Lohi as well, because as in my part-time, I'm also establishing a business that really creates a professional development plan for every person who wants to grow and professionally, and who really wants to make a shift of their career. That's what I do at the moment. I create plans, and I could recommend to you, after you complete a course, where you could actually gain your experience without the stress. And I try to make it sound like simple, but actually, if you're already online and you're already doing all the social media in the world,
that's one step.
Make use of your technology. Because now you're connected. Go for more and crave for more learning and development. And going as freelancer is another way to learn and really hone that skills you've learned. So if you get certified with Google, that doesn't mean things are going to end there. It's a great start of your journey. So go to this sites like Fiverr, for example, because a lot of businesses right now, like myself, I go there and look for freelancers. Especially, I'm trying to give opportunity to those who are even new in the platform. I look for those people because I think it's important we actually support each other. And that's another key element on 5 a Day, to be able to connect and then support everyone, care for the community and for people around the globe, because I believe everyone needs each other at this time. Even virtually. So if you got your certification, you've done your studies and you're certified, don't stop from there. Go and get your experience, because there's actually plenty for you out there.
Wow. Thank you so much, Rhealyn. I mean, this is amazing information. Amazing, really. So we're going to receive all of those links from you, and then share with everyone who requested for those links, and at the end of the live video. Thank you so much for coming online, Rhealyn. You are
You're welcome.
Amazing.